we want peace. Because from the base of peace, from the base of love, from the base of intelligence, and they all stem from one point. They all stem from the same point. You know, we'll say, God is love. Is a verb, being. Is a being. Love, but it's also intelligence. Okay. Is it. So source is it. Source is love. Source is intelligent. So it doesn't allow love, what we call love, to make it stupid. Say what we call love. We see what love is clearly. Love is, I'll do the best by you. You may not like it. You may not agree. But if I love you, I will do the best by you. You may want to do something that's completely detrimental. So, all I'm saying to you is that love and intelligence come in the same package. When you love all that is, you want to see everything rise. And the only way you can do that is to clear yourself. Now, I want you to understand something. There's a point in time when clarity becomes your greatest enemy. That is, when you become clear and you start to project everything on others. You begin to make judgments, moralistic judgments. Not practical judgments, but moralistic judgments on others. Okay. So we have to move past those things. Clarity can become a problem. What I say to you here applies only to each individual. It's not a blanket to be thrown over the world. It applies only to me. For the sake of my peace, coming to understand peace, it's in here. It's not for me to go out and judge the rest of the world by. I see, yes, if we did this, this would happen. I see that. But it's not for me to judge you by it. Because I understand that each individual has to come to it on their own. They have to come to it inside. You come to it inside, we agree. We can make things happen. We can make a change. We can make a difference. I look at some of the arguments in our political races, or some of the ways we look at people. You know, you say they're bad people. Well, they're just people. They have some characteristics that are, let us say, good, take out one O, and some that are twisted, and we all do. See, one of the things we have to understand that the habit of smoking a cigarette is the same habit of thinking another person is less than you. It's the mechanism. It's not the end result of that. It's not smoking the cigarette. Like the Duck Dynasty guy said, nothing wrong with picking cotton. That's why black people was singing all the while they was picking it. You know, but on the other hand, his son and daughter-in-law just adopted a black child. The interviewer said, well, wait a minute. How does your father feel about that? He said, no way. My father taught us there has been one race. That's the human race. And that all people are equal. Now, you see what I'm saying here? There's this over here and this over here. So we can't say, I can't say you're evil. Well, black people were happy. They were singing, picking cotton. But all people are equal. There's but one race, the human race. So is he a good person, an evil person? So I don't have the right to judge that. I know that certain thoughts are evil because of their nature, because of the way they go against the law, natural law. That's what makes them evil, not ooh. It's misunderstanding that is evil. Because what does misunderstanding do? It tortures you. When you come up against the law, you are tortured. You are tortured. That's what the evil is. The way that why evil is so insipid is because it's not boo, boogeyman, boo. It's a simple thing that we all do. Misunderstand and cause ourselves pain. That is why to be holy takes this away and brings it this way and makes us whole. That is why peace and love and understanding or intelligence is the answer, because it makes us whole. Does this make sense? This is why in what we're doing here, we gave you that technique. The most important thing there is. Because it's not really a technique. It's a brand new ancient technique I just thought up. That it is just what needs to be done in a moment. That's all. I just need to pay attention and acknowledge and see the truth about what's happening. That's all. Once I see that, I'm at peace. I will make decisions that are based on that. Decisions come from that base of truth and understanding. And it's true for this moment. I'm making a decision based on what is here this moment. If the bear is chasing me now, when do I get away from it? Now, not in the future, not in the past. Now, right now, when I get away from it, by doing what I need to do because it is present now. What I need to do now. Bring it together. Therefore, technique. I have been misinformed, and I have misinformed myself as a child. I have been taught that certain things are like anger, fear, whatever all that is. So I have assumed something now. That's what this energy means. And that's that. Okay. That's what it means in that moment in time when you're a child and you don't understand. But that energy has its own message. Its own message that is pure and simple. So what do I need to do? I need to get back to that pure, simple message. Now I can live in peace with that. I can't live in peace over here and over here and over here and over here. But if I'm doing this, I have to take the time to look at it and see why I'm doing this. Once I understand, see, understanding is the key. I stop. Bang. I'm at peace because the energy is moving like this. Rather than one is the truth of physical reality, one is the truth of spiritual reality. Spiritual. Now don't get all weird on me about the word spiritual. Spirit meaning just that is not form, that which is not hard. I don't have another word for it. Intelligence, I don't have another word for it. It's that thing that you can't define. It's not form, okay? So spiritual energy, let's have that definition. Just non-form. Now, I'm at peace. What's the problem? Oh. Okay. Let's solve the problem. Knowing full well that any solution, imperfection, has a flaw. There will always be something that comes up that opens up the next level of that. Okay. So the decision I made in the moment, according to the circumstances in that moment, were perfectly fine because they dealt with that moment. Now I said, but I did this and this is not happening. Well, just take your time. You'll see the next opening and the next opening, because each thing that you think, each energy flow that you think you have found the solution to, they all go back to one point. This is a law. Big Bang. All came from one point. Black hole. Everything going back to one point. That's the law. That's the law. Back to one point till it becomes so intense. So here's the deal. Expansion, contraction, expansion, contraction, expansion, contraction. So when we see that law, we don't worry. We don't disturb our peace. We see what it is and we go along for the ride. We go along for the ride because it's the law. We see where it takes us. You see, I can't see the unmanifested. Some things I can in a certain realm, but in the absolute, what is not is not. I can create it, and that I can experience. You heard me say before, you create the red carpet and then you walk on it to explore it, to find out where this idea goes, to find out what happens along the way, because that's the way it is. You have a pure concept when you look at something. It's like when I was a boy, we were looking at a magazine. It might have been National Geographics. Probably was because they had breasts of Native women in it. So when you're young, you take every opportunity possible. Oh, wow, look at that. Sears catalog, wow. A garter belt, oh my God. Wow. So it might have been National Geographic. And there was this picture of this island with a sunrise or sunset, I forget. It was absolutely beautiful. The sand, white sand, tinted slightly orange, and the deep red, deep orange sky, and the kind of the purple clouds in the foreground. It was like, man, what a beautiful place. And my buddy and I looked at it and said, there's no such place as that. I spent a long time kind of looking out of the corner of my eye. And one day, I was down in the Caribbean. There it was, this absolutely flawless, wonderful picture. Oh man, I can just enjoy it. And then, bam, sand fleas. So you see, in the pursuit of this flawless thing, they're all along the side of the road. It's going to be sand fleas. You just have to know that from the beginning. In every beautiful picture, there are sand fleas. You accept that. You accept that in the ideas, the way you see things, and so as you go along that path, you're learning. But this only happens when you have arrived at understanding that there are sand fleas. And you accept that. And you accept peace, being at peace with that. Being at peace with that. When you learn that the dreams of the child are not ever going to be realized in their purity. You can have it. Just know they're sand fleas. Just know. I saw that. I had that moment. Wow. Another wonderful night. I think it's an island 50 miles off the coast of Venezuela. Can't remember its name now. Sure, I'm getting old. But the night was deep. The sky was deep and filled with stars, and the weather was, I like to call it, womb temperature. Flawless. And I'm wading in the water. And I know I'm in ankle deep, so no sharks can get in there. And I see something in the water. And I bent over to look very closely at it. And up came a dog behind me and stuck his nose in my butt. And I thought, shark! You see, not only are there sand fleas, but there are cold-nosed dogs in the flawless vision. You follow my point? So you have to know. And then it's like, wow. Dogs, okay. I accepted the dogs, and all of a sudden, there was this pack of dogs sitting around me. I went to the sand, and I started, they were digging, so I got down, and I was digging, and we were, yeah, man, wow, we're digging. What we digging for? I don't know, but we're digging. Okay. I'm just in part of the pack. And all of a sudden, they stopped and started to growl. there was this guy coming out of the little bush back there toward me. And they were like, no, you don't. And they started to go toward the guy. And the guy was like, man, call your dogs. Call your dogs. My dogs. They just dogs. We were just hanging out together. We were just digging holes. Point. When the cold-nosed dog comes along and gives you that startle, that thing off of the purity of your vision, you have to make friends with it. When you make friends with it, it often becomes your protector. Because now you see. Now you understand. You follow me. Okay. Beware sand fleas and cold-nosed dogs. Okay. But accept them as a part of the picture. This is how we move. This is how we see. Now my view of that picture expanded because I had one view of it. Now it expands. Oh, what does this mean in the mind of all that is? It means that when you become comfortable, things stop moving. And anything that does not move dies. It may not be a physical death, but a mental death. I stop here. This is good enough. No, it's not. What do I see? What is next? What does this tell me? What does my intelligence tell me? My intelligence tells me the truth in spite of what my emotionalism tells me. In spite of that cold nose in the butt, jumping 8 feet in the air and yelling, "Shark!" No shark could be in water that deep. Besides, it came from the beach side, not the ocean side. Shark! It was funny. I said to Marilyn at the time, we were married, I said, why didn't you tell me it was a dog? She said, I didn't know what the hell it was. Are you the karate expert? I was gone. She was halfway down the beach. Handle it. Chop that shark, man. So what we want from our experience is to come to that pure simplicity of intelligence that makes me look and allows me to see truthfully and honestly. That allows me to love the process, the expandingness, those things that happen that cause me to expand and to see clearly without judgment.